Hey, it's Who here, and I'm going to talk about a few things today. First off, thanks for tuning in. I'm about a month into this whole vlog thing, and frankly, it's neat to kind of get my thoughts off my mind and to share them with you. Before we do this, I want to premise the fact that I do not claim to know everything there is to know about this. Never have, and I never will, because the funny thing about FPV is every day, every time you swear you know everything, it throws a fucking curveball at you. And this is basically the definition of FPV, in my opinion: curveballs every single day. But at the same time, it's also innovation. And in the last year, I have moved from run cam split minis to full-size GoPros, DK's GoPros. The quality's getting there. Now, it's amazing to see where the cinewhoop game has come in the past year as well. I mean, there's so many talented pilots, new, old, the pros, everyone's really just stepping up that game, and I am impressed with it. I am not here to be like, holy cow, these people are taking work away from me. No, this is encouragement. This is a great thing to see, that the word of FPV is being spread all around the world. And that is not a bad thing ever. So kudos to everybody killing the game. Keep it up. Find your niche. Go fly it. Now we're going to go straight into the reviews. It's 2020. I've upped the game in my technology, what I'm using here. Technology. In the current electronics here on my desk, and I have a few things to review today. So I'm kind of just throw it all in there at once. This isn't about specifics and all these things, but more so why I like it, why I chose to work with it, and why I'll probably be using this probably through the next year at least. So first things first, GoPro 8. Hello, how are you? Real Steady let out that announcement. Works fine. In my process, I do delete all the sync points that Real Steady makes, and I find 2 points just like I would with the 6. In either case, when I worked with the 6, I always delete the automatic sync points and make my own sync points. It always helps. Find it right away. I love the fact that it's 2 sync points, and why I instantly traded in the 7 for this bad boy. I love it. I think it'll hold till the next one comes out. Biggest complaint, small sensor still. I don't know how GoPro can innovate so much yet keep the same size sensor. Is it a form factor thing? Is it a cost thing? I'm not quite sure, but Insta1, thank you for putting out the competition. I'm sure we'll encourage GoPro to at least move up a hair in sensor size for those low light situations that are still not that great on this 8. Don't expect any game changing in low light on this bad boy. But what is good are all the other settings. I mean, I can shoot 120 frames at 1440, 4.3. That's not too shabby. Most of my work ends up being displayed digitally anyway. 1080 is just fine for that. Ideally, I'd have just a little bit more resolution to play with, but after cropping and real steadying, it looks fine, and it's in 1080 file, and I can work with that. That's a fun factor. Very straightforward. My complaints, again, are my ND filters from the 6 don't fit on it. Way to set that one up, GoPro. But again, I can get 10 megabit files, you know what I mean? 10-bit color. And that's to me, to have that higher file resolution, file size, and that extra 2 bits or so of information, I'm down for it. And I shoot everything at the highest resolution, highest settings. And funny enough, one thing I've done differently with this bad boy is leave the sharpening at medium. And I'm torn whether I should just go high, because even though I can add the sharpening later, it's another step, another process. And when I do have the real steady clip with low sharpening, depending on what I'm shooting, sometimes it's a little too soft on the 8. So the 8 is the go-to. Love it. Mounted all my cameras just with this GoPro ready to go. I can hard mount it. I'm not too concerned about that. And I guess this will lead me into the next review, huh? You guys see it. Hello. I moved it up. DJI. To be honest with you, I'm still on the digital high from my maiden flight, which I'm going to attach to this video. You'll see it at the end. To be honest, I was just enthralled with the detail. I mean, you've heard it before. Every review is the same. It's like learning FPV all over again, but with like this beautiful clarity that you just didn't have with analog. Am I going to stop using analog? Probably not. There are certain situations, especially for my big 5-inch quad, where analog is going to stay put. Just because of that frequency delay. I don't want to have any video delay, and it'll also kind of keep me where I should be. And not overrun it. DJI, goddamn, what a heck of an invention. It's progression. This is exactly what I'm talking about in the last year of FPV. It's totally different. It definitely is the game changer everyone says it is. I am not, again, just swapping everything out to it, but I am making content specific drones for the DJI camera. So Squirt, obviously one of them, flying my interiors, being able to kind of see a little bit more than I can, especially in multi-level surfaces, is going to be helpful. I did my practice in the forest, the Maiden in the forest, where I had to try it out. Trees, places where I would have analog interference, and I just got lost every single flight, like lost. I was so enthralled with everything I could see that I didn't even hear my quad at one point. I started like tripping out a little bit. It's not something very common for me. But man, and I wish I had like a huge battery on it too, because I'm coming back on the two-minute timer here, 14.8, barely meeting my storage mode, and wanting to keep flying. And I'm at least 500 yards away from me having to make it back. So DJI is a lot of fun, but I am using it content specific, meaning interior for now. Interior slow cruising. I'm not putting my big freestyle, my big open propped quad with DJI. I do not want to outfit that one with it, but it's going to lead me into where I'm going with a big quad. And I hype bot. I did it, and I don't regret it, not even a little bit. This remote, I can't even begin with this one. My only complaint, I'm a Spectrum flyer. There's a reason why I'm a Spectrum flyer, and it is basically all in here. The throw you get in a Spectrum gimbal is incomparable. The way it feels in your hand is incomparable, but this I could get used to. And this guy has my little makeshift T-mount. The simplicity factor of having TBS in this tiny little thing, TBS Crossfire, ready to go, even if it's cross shot, nothing too crazy here. Again, I'm not flying mountain ranges. I fly interior spaces. I just want to have consistent and happy signal on this little bad boy as I go explore places with great video. It just kind of has to go hand in hand, But this I got mostly for traveling, and this I do plan on outfitting most of my birds with. There's still going to be a few Spectrum flyers, and I'm going to keep those for fun, for smashing and bashing, crashing, and just having a good time with all my friends whenever we have these fun flies. So that's where all my Spectrum receivers are going to go. I have professionally moved over to Crossfire. For fun, I'm having a lot of fun with Spectrum still. But god dang, that just brings up a really good point. And if you guys are all keen on what's been going on this weekend, Horizon Hobby. Holy cow, way to throw us under the bus, man. Look at me right here. I'm having this revelation here that holy cow, I just spoke about Spectrum, and is the gimbals worth what Horizon did this weekend? I'm gonna have to reconsider that. I'm gonna have to really sit down and think about it, because there's a part of me that I don't like to pick sides. I don't like to, pick extremes or anything. I tend to find myself right in the middle. Partial conservative, partial liberal, whatever you want to do it. I'm right in the freaking middle here. And what they did is borderline unforgivable. Am I right? I mean, quads with cameras and GPS on it. I mean, they might have been referring a little bit more to the DJI guys, but I still have to sit and think about this one for a little bit. Spectrum's on hold. How about that? But we're definitely sold on this bad boy. I wish I had, hold on, let me get my X9D for comparison for anyone who hasn't already seen the comparison. All right, so there we go, there we go. Look at that bad boy. Basically missing the whole bottom part. Don't have to connect the Crossfire Mini back here anymore. It's all in here. And in terms of storage, traveling, this is a no-brainer. Price is right. Crossfire shot is fine. 250 milliwatts is fine for what I do and for most of what anyone's gonna do. So, you know, this is my gear for 2020. I will be flying Crossfire. I will be flying half DJI, half analog. And I will almost always be using the 8. Final words. I'm happy with my gear. I'm excited for what's to come this next year. And I'm excited to explore with these new setups, explore these spaces, tour some spots, and I can't wait to see what all you guys do this coming year. Keep up the good work, all. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.